What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another weekend vlog. Now, this one's gonna be mostly for my friends in Florida, but if you're in Texas or any of the Gulf states or pretty much anywhere in the South, it'll be good for you too. And if you're in the North, I hope you watch just for the enjoyment and for the mowing and the blowing. But first, I wanna let you all know, if you are in Florida, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but this is the dry season, and we're actually classified right now as being in a drought. So the most important thing we're gonna talk about first here is watering. You'll see over here, I have a constant struggle with this side of my lawn. That's my neighbor right there. My irrigation just doesn't cover here. Every year I go and dig the sprinkler heads out. I do what I can. I need to just really fix it the right way and add some more in here. But this just shows you right here, this is an area that's underwatered, and you can see it's droughting out, it's drying out. And the way you know is you'll see the grass blades, they start to fold. See how thin those are? This is St. Augustine grass, but these grass blades have folded over because they need water, super thirsty. And you can, nice and crunchy. And then we'll go to an area that does get proper water over here. And what will you see? Look at that. Nice, fat, juicy blades open. And even that one's starting to curl. So it's telling me, hey, we might need a little more water. And that's kind of how you manage through it. You got to really learn your land. I talk about that all the time. Learn your land. Understand where are your trouble spots. Where does your irrigation not cover properly? What does your lawn look like when it's properly watered versus not? Keep an eye out. Also, let me show you the zoysia suffering too. So you'll see over here now, I actually turned the irrigation off over here because, as you remember, a couple weeks ago I did all that drainage over there, so I turned it off and I just turned it back on. But you can see here's areas right in here, that's from not enough water right there. And so the zoysia is suffering as well. Time to get the watering fixed. Now, I'm not going to go through an entire video here on how to fix your irrigation. This is just telling you, hey, run your sprinklers, see what the coverage looks like, hand water in the areas that are lacking. That's what you got to do. I got plenty of videos on that, but I'm just warning you, in Florida, we are in a drought. Make sure you're watering 1/2 inch every 3 days. Also, check out my new FJ. Well, it's new to me. This is a 2014. I'll show you what it looked like before. And now here's what it looks like now. I had to, personalize it a little bit. New wheels and tires, blacked out all the silver all the way around, had this wrap put on. This is the same color desert sand, but I had it done in a matte because I just think that looks super sharp. Always wanted one of these. You guys know I'm a Toyota man. Always wanted one of these, and this is a much better value than buying something new. Figured I would spend, $35,000 on this, a 2014 with 70,000 miles versus getting a brand new like Land Cruiser that's 65,000. I just can't stomach 65 grand for an SUV. So this right here, it's just barely broke in at 70,000. Now I've made it my own and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. The only thing it's missing is Borla exhaust, and then it's done, good to go. Also, you know how people that have Jeeps, they put ducks all up on their dash? I don't know who started that or what, but this is an FJ Cruiser, and so being me, I'm going with a baby Groot. Okay, before we get too far into this video, my friends in Florida, if you haven't heard, in a lot of counties here, we have summer nitrogen bans, also phosphorus bans, but we don't typically need phosphorus here anyway. It's nitrogen bans. In the summer, from June 1st all the way to September 30th, no nitrogen allowed. The reason we have those bans is because, as you guys know, that's the rainy season, June, July, August, September. It rains every afternoon. It rains really hard for about 20 minutes and it's done. It's a rushing rain and everything washes. And what they're scared of is that if you fertilized right then, that your fertilizer, your nitrogen fertilizer, will wash off and get into the rivers, the streams, the lakes, and eventually end up out in the Gulf. And what that does is it exacerbates red tides. So what they've done in an effort to cut down on that is they forbid nitrogen fertilization during the rainy season in the summer. I have been looking for years to try to find a product that we could use, and we have one. It's microgreen. We spray that. It's iron. It'll keep the lawn green, but eventually it doesn't work either. You got to have nitrogen. Nitrogen drives the bus. Nitrogen makes the lawn green. And also that rainy season, June, July, August, September, that is when our grass is thickening the most, growing the most. If you have thin spots, that's when you'll make the most progress. But you need nitrogen to fuel it. So what did I do? I finally found a product that we can apply, and it's a little bit different. It's called pre-ban. Pre-ban because you put this down at the end of May, right before the ban kicks in. This is a 4-month slow-release nitrogen fertilizer. When you make an application of this at 5 pounds per thousand, you're gonna get 2 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. That's right, an entire 2 pounds. However, don't be worried, it's not too much. It's actually just enough because this is 100% polymer-coated urea that time releases 1/2 a pound a month for 4 months. That's the technology. It works great. This is actually recommended by the University of Florida in their best management practices for the safety of Florida waters. The University of Florida recommends this. Put this down the last week or the last 2 weeks of May, and it will green up your lawn all during that time. So you're just getting it down pre-ban, that's why we call it pre-ban, and you'll have fertilization of nitrogen all the way through the ban. Now the key is you got to get it watered in. So once you put it down, water it in yourself, and then it'll just sit there right at the soil line all the way through, slowly releasing that nitrogen, and you'll be good to go. I got a lot more information below. We're taking pre-sales right now. It's going to start shipping Thursday, April 3rd. I think that's April 3rd. It's going to start shipping April 3rd, but we can put pre-orders in now because we got limited quantities of this because it's a new product. I'll give you a link below. Go ahead and get yours ordered, and then it'll ship for you on April 3rd. That's in plenty of time for you to get ready to throw it down in the last 2 weeks of May, or the last week of May if you can. Pre-ban 4000, 4-month, slow release nitrogen fertilizer. Now let's get back out to the video. Now I want to clarify, because some of you are going to ask, Alan, will that pre-ban wash out during the 4 months? The answer is no. The reason the bans are in place is because if you fertilize and get the rain, you know, a couple hours later, like right away, before the fertilizers had a chance to settle down in, that's when it can wash away. But if you get it watered in, and it doesn't take a lot, ½ inch of water, once you get it watered in, listen, it's going to go all the way down into this thick grass here, and it's not going anywhere. It will stay in there. It'll have no problems hanging up in there. It's only if you get rain directly after you fertilize that there's a problem with runoff. And that, again, that's during the summer when we have those large rushing rains. That's when it's a concern. If you're going to do this yourself, you can control the watering in nice and easy. Get it way down into that thick sand hog. It'll sit in there and just feed it from the ground up all summer long. And like I said, the University of Florida, they recommend it because they know the technology exists and the technology is sound and it'll work great. Slow release, 1/2 pound of nitrogen every month for 4 months. Now, real quick, one other thing, if you live up north or anywhere else that doesn't have bans, this still works for you. If you get really busy in the summer, a lot of you, you know, you got a lot of stuff going on in the summer, you don't have time to fertilize, fine, put down the pre-ban now. It'll trickle out for you all summer while you're out doing vacations and travel sports and all that kind of stuff, and you won't have to worry about it. So it's good for any grass type anywhere. I just made it specifically for my friends in Florida because we've needed a solution for a long time. I know a lot of you have been wanting to see how this works, this new Ego sprayer, so we're gonna go over that today. One thing I wanted to say, whenever you get a sprayer, if there's water in it, it's not used. They always water test these before they send them. That's all sprayers. Every sprayer I've ever had is always water tested. So when you get yours, if it's wet inside, it's not a used sprayer. It just means they water tested it to make sure it doesn't leak and that everything's working all right from the pump all the way to the end cap. So that's what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna test it with just some water. Let's look at the different tips and how they each work. This did not come with a battery. This is one of those tools you get when you're already in the ecosystem and you already have a bunch of Ego batteries. This is a nice add-on, and just use the batteries that you already have. That's always a test right there. How easy can you get the top on, right? That's a thing that goes to the fit and the finish. And you can see this top, look at that, marries right up nice and easy, so that's good. Just one of those things that'll frustrate you if you get one of these sprayers. You've had them before where the top just won't go on. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. All right. Just took a minute. I had to be patient with it. That's interesting. So everything's in the handle. That's off. Interesting. Okay. So that's pretty cool. There's no, you know, most sprayers will have like a switch or something over there you got to turn on. Not here. It's on the handle. See there, it's on the off position. And so you just do 1 or 2 clicks and now you're going. That's a nice low. Look at that. Nice low pressure. And then you can turn it up. Oh yeah. Nice mist, okay. So this is the tip that came with it. This is a standard tip. You guys have seen these, every sprayer comes with them. You can back it out a little bit, back it off, I guess. And it'll, more of a pin stream, see that? And then you tighten it up, not all the way, but the more you tighten it up like that, and you get that finer mist. You can hear it, I mean, it says 350 PSI, which is huge, but listen to it just rip. Let's put it on the pin stream and see how far it'll go. So I'm going to back that off. Okay, and I'm going to crank it. When you read the manual, one of the uses it says it's good for is watering plants. And so you can see it's great for that. With all that pressure, potted plants, stuff like that. See, I have all these bromeliads, and you water them from the top. You basically just fill up the cups. So this is incredible. Pretty much all tropicals, though, they like a little misting anyway like this. They're all going to absorb through their leaves, but that's pretty cool. And then you can get down in there and concentrate it if you want. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use it for this purpose if I'm going to put herbicides in here and spray my lawn. But if you have a lot of potted plants, even more than I do, pretty handy dandy way to do it. Maybe you even have a business where you water potted plants. This would be great for that. But again, you're not going to want to put herbicides in it if you're going to use it for watering plants. But just thought I'd show that. They put it in the manual, and yeah, it's good for that. All right, quality again, very high. Straps, extremely comfortable. They fit real nice, good ergonomics. Got the strap in there if you want. And this is all solid. None of this is gonna come off. Good stitching. So they've done a really good job. Look at that, it's like a whole harness right there. And that's solid. Even this is all solid. Nice thick stainless steel. The line is all wrapped here. I'm assuming because there's something electrical that goes through there to tell the handle what to do. So they just got it all wrapped up, but that's nice. All right, let's take a look at these other tips. That looks like a shower head kind of tip. That looks like a fan tip maybe. We'll have to see. Maybe another fan tip, just a finer mist. Okay, so this is definitely one that delivers a larger droplet size. And again, you can adjust it to be lower, see, lower, like lower volume or higher volume. But this is definitely one, so if you're gonna use a product that required a larger droplet size, something that you're gonna water in, this is the tip you would use there. And that looks pretty solid. Can you see that? Can you see the pattern there? I'll do some spraying with it, you'll see. What I'm saying is, for those of you that follow my stuff, this would be equivalent to the flood jet, like the white flood jet. That's kind of what this is. I don't think it's equivalent, but you know what I mean? It will do the same job. So larger droplet stuff you need to water in. All right, let's do this one. I think this one's gonna be a finer mist, like for spraying weeds and stuff. Yeah, so this one's definitely finer mist. Look at that. So you're spraying weeds, you need something small, fine droplets, it's really gonna stick. You would use this one. Look at that. Yeah, that's really cool. Superfine. Superfine was also my nickname in college. And it's a technical term. Okay, let's turn on this next one. This one I think they call a foaming tip, maybe? It looks like a shower head tip. So this one actually would probably be best for watering plants, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, this one's better for watering plants, y'all. All right, well, I got ahead of myself on the watering plants. That's what this is. Look at how nice that is. So this is not for lawns at all. Maybe if you were washing your car, you had some sort of soap or something. A lot of detailers use this equipment for sure. So we're gonna break this in. It's gonna get all stained up now. By the way, in case I didn't say, this is a 4-gallon backpack. If you're asking what do I think about it, so far, it's awesome. Especially again, if you already have batteries, man, this is a great add-on. I know I sell a sprayer. You know, I can't compete with this. This is incredible. So CK is very concentrated, so we only need 1 ounce. We're doing 2,000 square feet. There we go. Well, she's stained up now, Captain. You know, now depending on what size battery you use, this can get pretty heavy. But, you know, I'm 5'8" like Wes Watson, and I can lift it, you know. Look at that. One arm it. So you can do it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started watering in. I gotta mow the other lawn over there in a minute, so I can't run the irrigation because it overlaps, but just wanna start this in. So what do I think of it? I mean, this sprayer is nice, it's awesome. Fit finish, like I've been saying, is awesome. The spray was nice. The tips are fine. I was afraid that the tips weren't gonna be what you need for lawn care, but they are. They got that higher volume, larger droplet size tip that I just used right there for stuff you need to water in. And then they got that fine mist tip for weed control. And that watering tip, you know, again, I used the wrong one, but that watering tip, that shower tip, that's pretty cool too. So I've only put CK in there, so I could still use it for watering plants if I want. And I might do that because I already have a lawn sprayer. So I might just use that one to water plants, we'll see. But yeah, really good. If you're looking at buying one, I would say go for it. This is the kind of stuff you're looking for if you're already in the Ego ecosystem. You already have the batteries, you're looking for other tools that you can add on without having to buy more batteries. And this is definitely a good choice. So there you go, guys. Let me know if you have any questions below, stuff I may not have covered. I'll answer it for you in the comments. I'm sorry, I do know one thing you're gonna ask, and yes, I have a lot of crack weeds going on here. We gotta get them fixed. You're gonna ask, what's the output, right? Because we measure things, you know, like 1 gallon covers 1,000 square feet. What is the output? Well, I didn't do a bucket test. So you would need to do a bucket test based on wherever you like this set. So go ahead and mess with it and see. Well, it's out right now, it's empty. But go ahead and mess with it and see which one of these settings you prefer, that you like, and then do a bucket test with it, and then you adjust your walk speed to match it. So I've got videos on how you do bucket tests and walk speed and all that, but that's what it is. Because it's not a straight, hey, this setting is 30 PSI and this one is 60 like my sprayers do. This is variable. You just do a bucket test at the PSI that you prefer and then adjust your walk speed to match it and you'll be good to go. One thing I wanted to show y'all, you're gonna see these in your St. Augustine grass lawn. These are St. Augustine seed heads. They look like asparagus kinda. This is nothing to worry about. It's not a weed. It's just a natural reaction to stress. In this case, the stress is that we are in a drought. And so it's sending up seed heads, but these are sterile, they won't grow. The only way that St. Augustine grass is propagated is vegetatively. So new plants grow from old plants. These seeds are no good, nothing to worry about, just mow like normal and they'll go away. Okay, last thing I'm gonna do today is fertilize. It's been a slow year in Florida for a lot of you. I see people talking online about, hey, it's been a slow year for my lawn to get going. Listen, give your lawn, especially St. Augustine and Zoysia, and Bahia too, honestly, give it nitrogen, give it flagship. I'm telling you, push it. Those people telling you, don't push your lawn early, don't push your lawn early. Well, that's why your lawn's not woken up yet. That's why it's not greened up yet. It needs fertilizer. Warm season lawns, especially in Florida, they eat nitrogen. That's what they do. Give it a lot. So anyway, a little flagship. I'm gonna put it in the back. You guys know I have Pro Vista in the back, so especially if you have Pro Vista, flagship all the way around. Now listen, I know in the beginning of this video, I talked about that new fertilizer, that 4-month fertilizer. That's something you're gonna put down in May. But up until then, go ahead and follow your regular program that's in the app, in the Yard Mastery app. So it's probably telling you in Florida right now to put down flagship. Might be saying stress blend. If you're in far northern Florida, that's fine too. But for most of you, it might be flagship. It's probably gonna be flagship. Put that down now. That 4-month fertilizer is meant to be put down in late May and it lasts through the summer. But until then, up until then, stick with your regular program, keep your lawn pushed and keep it green. There's my backyard Pro Vista, looking good. Still got this thin spot over here where I killed all the weeds earlier in the year. So I'm gonna put some plugs in there. That'll be a video coming up. But You can see it's looking good, but I cannot stress to you enough, if you have Provista, flagship, 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 every 30 days, no matter what, it needs and eats the nitrogen.